We are back, Terrell Thomas,
Brandon Triche,
and we are live right now at the Live Hip Hop Daily Studios in downtown Atlanta. Once again, I got to give a big shout out to our producer Jay Black, making us look real great as always. Got to give a shout out to our man H2 doing his thing from behind the scenes, making it happen. But as we mentioned before the break, our Atlanta Hawks. We've been doing a lot of talking about the Atlanta Hawks, Summer League play and everything like that.
Right.
As we were leaving out last Thursday, our insider, Mr. Brandon, let me know, hey, your Hawks are making a move. Jeremy Lin is coming over to Atlanta.
Chris Bombs.
So our Atlanta Hawks, a Chris Bomb boom right there. I like that. So as you mentioned, the Triche Bomb went down, and we now know that the Atlanta Hawks have acquired Jeremy Lin.
Linsanity.
And a 2025 second-round pick and the right to swap a second-round pick in 2023 from the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for the rights to a protected 2020 second-round pick. It was announced, as we mentioned last week. Now, Jeremy Lin is an 8-year veteran. He started in the NBA 217 times. He's played 406 games. He pretty much averages 12 points a game, 4 assists per night. Yeah, so pretty much a solid player. He's also been in the postseason and played in 17 games, so he brings over a little bit of veteran experience. We now know that 9 times out of 10, the backcourt will feature Jeremy Lin and the rookie 3rd or 5th, depending on how you look at it, overall pickup in Trey Young. We'll talk about him in a moment as well. Jeremy Lin, Linsanity is now here in the South. What are your thoughts on that? It was amazing when it was in New York. You know, Jeremy Lin's a phenomenal player, but it was also a heavy Asian culture that took place in New York. You know, the Asian culture isn't as heavy here in Atlanta, but folks out here love ball. They love basketball, and he's a hell of a baller, and he'll bring something to the Hawks at the 2 position. What are your thoughts on Jeremy Lin, and what can he do for our Atlanta Hawks?
I mean, on the Asian community, it's more people and more Asian descent here than you expect. Because during that whole Linsanity era was going on, when I was my time down at the arena when Jeremy Lin first came in with the Knicks, and I thought in that time period for that one game, I think I might have seen more Asians in that one setting in the arena. I think I have my whole life. I didn't know that many Asians were in Atlanta, so I was like, so he brought he brings out a different side, different culture. So now you already have a city like Atlanta's already a melting pot as it is already, and like you said, everybody loves basketball. So if Jeremy can bring some of that Linsanity effect, not to that extreme, because we're not in New York, so it's not gonna be overblown like it was. But if he can bring some of that same kind of magic a little bit, who knows? He might, he can show Trey Young a little the ropes a little bit, because he's more seasoned than the other said point guard that's here. So and he also can show the ups and downs of the NBA life, because people might not know Jeremy Lin. If you ever follow Jeremy Lin's story, he was undrafted, had to really grind and work his way to what he is now, staying on teammates' couch, getting cut, that whole realm. So
superstar overnight for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, he had the greatest 2 weeks in NBA history. So until he played the Heat, and then it all came crashing down. But who would ever know the kid who was undrafted, sleeping on his friends, sleeping on his teammates' couches, had panned out an 8-year career. So that shows you that obviously teams like what he could do, because he wasn't staying around for 8 years. I've always told people, I said, look, you might not have the greatest talent, but if you're a good locker room guy and can bring something to the team, you can hang around the league 10 years. It's a lot of dudes that should have been gone 5-6 years ago who's still hanging around, still getting NBA checks. So you can't hate on it.
You just mentioned Trey Young. Now, me personally, I think that Jeremy Lin will be a great player here, but that also makes me wonder what's up with Dennis Schroeder. We'll talk about that in a moment. What's up with Dennis? What do the Hawks have in mind for that right there? But I do think he'll be a good mentor / role model for Trey Young, as Trey Young, begins, Adidas, that's real, begins his NBA career out here. But speaking of Trey Young, he started off a little shaky in the Utah Summer League. Right. Folks were already saying he's a bust, he's this and he's that. And I love the confidence and the approach that Trey Young was taking on it. He kept letting folks know, I'll be fine. The pace is a little bit different, but I'll get adjusted. I'll adjust, and I'll be just fine. And it was funny, being out in Utah, speaking with Trey Young, he never seemed discouraged after the game. And for me, that was a key sign. When you got the world telling you you're a bust after 2 performances, and you're still smiling. I thought that was one of the dumbest things ever with some of these so-called experts. But I also love the approach that he took on it. Keep that same energy,
And Taylor voice.
and as he started to perform, perform and started to ball in Vegas, you started to hear the naysayers turn around. We even see the likes of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant recently on his ESPN special detail, he broke down Trey Young's summer league performance, some of his strengths, weaknesses, and how he can be a great player. So shout out to the Black Mamba, aka the GOAT. You know that's already a good sign right there when you have the likes of Kobe Bryant looking at you.
Right.
But Trey Young, he turned his summer league career around, and he was named to the second team all summer league team this season. So that right there in itself is pretty great. Trey Young averaged 17 points and 6 assists in his performances in Vegas. So that's pretty good right there, you know. And we got to speak about they were down 27 points in one of the games.
Came back.
Forgive me, I forget. Was it the Bulls they were playing against that night?
It was the Bulls. Against
the Bulls, they were down 27 points. Trey Young put on a hell of a performance. As you know, folks are comparing him to Steph. Folks are comparing him to Steve Nash. He's already come out and said he wants to be more of a Nash, of a facilitator than a Steph Curry. He has the long range shot in his game, but he wants to be a general and lead the team. He wants to be a floor general out there. So overall, what did you think now that we know Trey Young? Shout out to Trey Young being named to the second team out there, putting on a hell of a performance in the summer league. Once again, 17 points, 6.8 assists, so damn near 17-7 if we want to break it down. Damn near 17-7. So we see that the Oklahoma product is ready. He's ready for the league, and I can't wait to see what he does with the starters as he's out there with the starters. I personally believe the starting five is going to look something like John Collins, Amari Spellman. I think he's going to come in and actually be a starter.
Right.
We'll have Taurean Prince, Jeremy Lin, and then Trey Young starting right there. We'll have the likes of Dedmon coming off the bench. We'll see what Kevin Huerter does. I think he'll come off the bench as well. But I think Trey Young's game will amplify a little bit more when the starters come out there. What did you think of Trey's overall summer performance?
It was a game by game. So you saw the progression, like a game by game. So, everybody was riding on him after the first 3 games in Utah. Like I said last episode, you had to pump the brakes. That was the first time they probably played organized 5-on-5 since the tournament. It's like Trey said, it's different. It's different playing 5-on-5 than just working out me in a chair and a trainer. So he had to get his footing down, and so it was very impressive to see his game develop in that little short period of time, that short span of time, and evolve it more in Vegas with a bigger audience, more people watching. Definitely gonna have more people there in Vegas watching than the Utah fans in the summer league in Utah. So you definitely see that the bright lights do not affect him at all. So so you can already see he's a crowd favorite. He plays for the crowd and he also plays for his team. Like you said, he wants to be the Steve Nash, the floor general out there. So I rather my point guard take that aspect than take the shoot first point guard that's really going out there searching for shots, and then I'll be past second. So I was very impressed with him, and also getting the all rookie second team. I don't think the Hawks have had anybody outside of probably Al Horford that got in those mentions in recent years. So that's a good start for his career. Getting some accolades already. So now he just build on that, get the confidence. He got his feet wet. So now we see what happens when training camp starts.
So when we talk about training camp, man, one person that may not be out there for training camp is a brother that we just spoke of. Some call him the German Thunder. Some call him German Chocolate. We know him as Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder, it's already been talks about different teams looking at Schroeder, that the Hawks are possibly looking to trade Schroeder. Now, we heard things about the Pelicans possibly be interested in Schroeder, but now things are really heating up because at Summer League, the Atlanta Hawks and the Oklahoma City Thunder begin to put packages together for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, 10 years ago, I'll be doing this.
In a deal for Dennis Schroeder and Mike Muscala. Now, Hawks fans, don't get excited because Melo Man won't be coming here. We won't see Melo in a Hawks jersey. So if you're looking to get a throwback instant jersey, get it immediately because he'll never wear it himself. But you can be one to go get one. That's totally fine. If the deal would go down, it would be something like this. The Oklahoma City Thunder, as mentioned, would get Dennis Schroeder and Mike Muscala. we would get Carmelo Anthony here in Atlanta, and 9 times out of 10, some type of draft picks, because we know Travis Slink, the Hawks GM, is looking to build draft picks, as many draft picks as he can get to play with, and the draft talent, and to possibly move as the years move along. Right. We would do a buyout with Carmelo Anthony. So the Thunder would end up paying him $20 million. He's due to get 27, so I guess our buyout would be about $7 million or so, and Melo would be on the market to go wherever he pleases. Houston, LA, I would have loved for him to go to the Sixers. I don't really see that happening. I was excited at first when I got the news that the Hawks were in talks for Melo. It didn't make sense because I know Travis is looking to build a younger team. So I initially thought, I said, Melo wouldn't be coming here, but I did have hope. Like maybe, just because they need a veteran on the bench. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, Dwayne Dedmon is a seasoned veteran. He's a high basketball IQ type of a player. We've seen what he does in the locker room. He's a well-loved player in the locker room. So I'm quite sure that he is a vet that they have on the bench. But a player like Carmelo, future Hall of Famer, All-Star, who still has something to prove. I believe personally, Melo, he's a shooter. He still has a good 5-6 years to me left in the league. Now, we may see him dwindle slightly in production as those years move along, but I still think he has some time left in the NBA. Do you see the Hawks getting rid of Dennis Schroeder anytime soon? And will Oklahoma City be a great fit for Schroeder?
Do I see him getting Dennis out of here? Yeah. Because you don't draft a point guard number 5 for him to sit on the bench. So, draft number 5. So, the writing was on the wall when last year when they were trying to, they had his name in trade talks. So you already know that was it was coming. The end, the light was at the tunnel. It just who gonna make the first move to get him? Which team gonna want to take Dennis' contract and take Dennis as well? Because that's for people who don't follow the Hawks like that. That's a big personality now. So what team wants to deal with that? And also deal with his contract.
I still don't think we've seen the best of Dennis Schroeder yet, though.
We have.
I do think he's a very talented player.
I mean, he is 20. He's only 23, but Dennis has done Dennis things, and I let that just stay what it is. But when they drafted Trae, like I said, the writing was on the wall. And then also with getting the move against Jeremy Lin, like you don't stockpile your team with point guards if you don't look to move somebody. So him going to Oklahoma City, do I see that being a good fit? No, because I think that's gonna probably be a 3-team trade. They gotta try to get somebody else, probably send Dennis there. Melo comes here, and then somebody go to Oklahoma City, because Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook would not work. I don't care which coach you have. You can have Phil Jackson, Greg Popovich, anybody. That won't work with those two kind of players. That's essentially kind of do the same thing, and headstrong like that. No, that wouldn't work. But if Melo came to Atlanta, I'd be happy like 5 years ago. But I want him to come here, for my own selfish reasons. That'd be a good kick game. But we know he's gonna do the buyout and probably end up going to Houston probably, or he might want to take his time back to the West Coast. Might want to go with his boy in LA. I doubt it, but who knows? Him and LeBron was going to play together, so they might end up doing that.
It'll be very interesting to see, but we'll keep you updated on what our Atlanta Hawks do. Once again, Jeremy Lin, newest member of our Atlanta Hawks.
Insanity.
Shout out to Trey Young making the second team, all summer league team, and we'll keep our eyes on this Carmelo Anthony and Dennis Schroeder information. But staying in the NBA, staying right in the NBA, I guess as the song goes, I'm coming home, coming home. 2 years, $40 million for 23-year-old Chicago native Jabari Parker, the newest member of the Chicago Bulls. Now, it was also funny. Last week, we were talking about possible free agents the Hawks should look at. Jabari Parker is a gentleman you mentioned. That Friday seemed like he was being signed by Chicago. One of the best things that could happen to him. He was on the Milwaukee Bucks. Injuries have kind of, I don't want to say they deterred or hurted his career because just derailed a little bit because we haven't seen the best of Jabari Parker either. And with the new look Bulls, Wendell Carter, Zach LaVine, Lloyd Marketing.
They up and coming.
The Bulls could be very good. The Bulls could be very good. The Jabari Parker was actually introduced and it became official earlier today. So Jabari Parker is the newest member of the Chicago Bulls. He's back home, hometown story. Similar to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, Chicago native who did his thing in high school. I believe they played at the same high school. Simeon played at the same high school. Simeon, one of the best high schools, for basketball in the United States. Happens to be right there in the Windy City. Jabari Parker, how does he fit in the Chicago Bulls, and could we possibly see Jabari in an All-Star jersey in the next 2 years that he's there on this $40 million deal?
I've always liked Jabari's game. Even though he went to Duke, but I've always liked Jabari's game. I think the injuries kind of derailed it a little bit, but I've always told people he's 20. The man's 23. He's young, so he's going to a great market. They don't have a bona fide superstar. They don't have a bona fide leader. Jabari, off the team, he's been there the longest. He's only 23 years old, but I think he could come add the scoring presence that they were lacking last season. They'll be an up and down team, but you still will need that mid-range scorer that ISO ball a little bit. Because I always said Jabari's game is kind of like a younger Melo. So he got the same kind of body type, same kind of build, all mid-range games. So I think it was a very good signing. The only thing I want to see is if he can stay healthy. I think he can. I mean, because when he came back last season and he played the amount of games he played last year, he was very effective. You can still see he had a little bit of explosiveness in his legs. So now he had a full off season to get healthy and get acclimated to a new city. Well, not even a new city in his aspect, a new team, and I think that he'll thrive in that situation. Now I just want to see how everybody works with. Now Zach LaVine's the highest paid player on the team. Is he going to try to take the reins to be the superstar, or is Jabari going to take the superstar? Like they all at the end of the day, all of them are around the same age. So it's kind of interesting how that team's going to work. It might be a sleeper team. They might want to try to fight for that 8th seed in the East.
As we wrap up, man, we got a few more topics to talk real quick. Isaiah Thomas, he's now a member of the Denver Nuggets. 1-year deal for the veteran minimum. We think about this time last year pretty much, or a little bit before this time last year. He was talking about the Brinks truck being backed up. Now we see him reunited with his former coach that was once his coach in Sacramento, and Coach Malone. Now he's in Denver. We may not see Michael Porter Jr. this year. He may sit out the entire year, but they still have a great team. Yeah. Joker out there, Paul Millsap out there, Will Barton out there. What type of impact will Isaiah Thomas have with the Denver Nuggets?
I think he'll have a good little impact. It's just he has to come in with the mindset he has to thrive in being the bench player. He has to be there to thrive in, so he can still be effective as coming off the bench, because we all know that Brinks truck is never getting backed up for him. So he got to, he has to be the veteran presence for a younger team, because outside of Paul, Isaiah's the most seasoned player on the team. So he thrived on the Malone system in Sacramento. So now if he could bring that same kind of intensity and energy he had when he was in Sacramento, he can bring the same thing in Denver. So they don't really have a bench scoring from the point guard aspect, because they got rid of Moutier when they traded him last year, or he was a free agent. And so now he come in and he could thrive in that situation and kind of be a vet and teach the young kids that Jamal Murray's and Gary Harris is
Jamal Murray, hell of a player.
He's upcoming.
Most improved player, Isaiah Thomas. I'm throwing it out there. 2018-19 NBA season most improved player.
He can.
I'm throwing it to him, and he's going to get a 4-year deal somewhere. He'll get a 4-year deal somewhere. Quickly in the NFL, we know Madden will be coming out real soon. It actually hits stores on August 10th. Okay. Today it was revealed, Mr. AB, Steeler Nation, wave your terrible towels in the air. AB is the cover athlete. What are we going to see? So we know Madden, it'll come out this year, as we mentioned, August 10th. Will we see a Madden curse for Steeler Nation and AB?
I hope so.
I bet you do, Ravens fan. This man's a Ravens fan, so I'm quite sure. And shout out to our producer, Jay Black, because he right there is a Cincinnati Bengals fan. So I'm just surrounded. He's screaming, "Who they back there?"
Exactly. Who are they? Who are they? Exactly. So, is that Madden close? I hope so, I hope there's a great curse. I want to go 0-16. That'd be a great, that'd be great and fantastic for me.
We're not going to see that. Not for the Steelers.
They're not 0-16, but,
Mike Tomlin's a hell of a coach. Too many weapons out there.
They have bigger fish to fry and trying to sign
Le'Veon
Bell. But since he's not gonna get signed, and it's probably his last year, I think he come on to the other team in the AFC North, not the Bengals or the Browns. So y'all don't need him. Y'all need somebody. But he could definitely come on to Baltimore. We'll definitely have eyes welcome him with open arms. We could back up the Brinks truck for him. And we go to the Super Bowl this year and next year, years to come.
We'll see about that. We'll see. AB is rated a 99. He's one of the members of the new 99 club. It'll be Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Rob Gronkowski, Aaron Donald, Luke Kuechly, Von Miller, and the aforementioned cover man, Antonio Brown. So make sure you pick up Madden. It'll come out this August 10th. We'll throw our usernames out there. We'll do a little more talking about Madden.
Yeah.
Closing again, man, Darrelle Revis. We saying goodbye to one of the best ever. Revis Island is now closed. No more planes or boats will be going to the island. Former New York Jets, Tampa Bay Bucks, and also
New England Patriots,
and Kansas City Chiefs. One of the best cornerbacks to ever play the game.
Right.
Where are you ranking Revis in his NFL career? I'm ranking him maybe number 2. Deion, then Revis. Where you got him at?
I won't go as number 2. I mean, I say he'd be top 5 because you still got Ryan Lott. You got Melvin.
He was
Blunt.
A safety though. I mean, with defensive back, yeah.
Ryan Lott, Melvin Blunt. You got guys like that. And then Champ. I
think Revis better than Champ. I love Champ and Sean Springs coming up as a youngin. I wore number 24. I wore number 4, but I wore 24 in practice because of them 2 players.
Yeah, so I mean,
they're not messing with Revis.
Revis was, he was good. I could definitely say he was the smartest businessman NFL wise because we could finesse 2 teams out of $200 million contracts for a defensive back player. But who knows? Hey, he finessed all that. So he had a great career. He got a ring out of it. So he's going to the Hall. So it was, what I'm saying, I say top 5.
Top 5. I'm giving you number 2 right behind Prime Time. I got Prime Time and then the Island, Revis Island. Shout out to Darrelle Revis. Look forward to seeing what you do in your past life. Possibly see him on CBS or Fox. Maybe NFL Network doing something.
He got all the money. He ain't got to do nothing.
Yeah, he don't have to, but I think he's still going to decide to give back. And do something like that, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in today. If you're in the Atlanta area, more specifically Gwinnett, South Gwinnett, come join the 6th Man of the Year, the 2017-18 NBA 6th Man of the Year, LA Clipper star Lou Williams. Lou Williams is hosting his annual basketball skills camp that'll take place July 23rd through July 26th. It'll be at South Gwinnett High School. The kids' ages are 6 to 17. That takes place at 2288 Main Street in Snellville. Once again, Lou Williams is hosting his annual basketball skills camp. So if you're in the LA area, make sure you check that out. It's $125 for the week. That includes lunch as well. There's a lot of surprises. I know last year he had the likes of Dwight Howard, Angel McCoughtry, several NBA stars, WNBA stars were in the building. A great time right there. If you want more details, you can follow Lou Willville on Instagram. The link is in his bio, but it's going down July 23rd to 26th. Lou Williams Annual Skills Challenge. Check that out at South Gwinnett High. It's always a pleasure, man.
Yes,
always
sir.
a pleasure.
Yes,
We'll be right back here at downtown Atlanta next week at the Live Hip Hop Daily Studio. You can make sure you follow us all on Twitter. Follow Live Hip Hop Daily. Follow These Urban Times, Eldorado 2452.
And CEO Triche, that is CEOTRICHE. Follow me on all social medias, baby.
Also, make sure y'all check out our producer of today's show, Jabari Blackman. Follow him on social media as well. That young brother's doing a whole lot of dope things. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Be safe out there. Stay tuned with us for all of your dope sports and culture news. We'll see you next week. Be blessed.